Retirement planning is about more than just your income. You need to take into account your investment, tax, health, and estate management. And that's where Jonathon McCoy and the team at Market Advisory Group come in as your full-service financial management provider. That's a mouthful there, but it's really important for people to know about. As a financial advisor, what's the #1 biggest concern that you hear about from retirees today?
Without a doubt, consistently, no matter what someone's financial history or circumstances are, it's running out of money.
Yeah.
Ultimately, and there's studies and research and articles you can read to the end of time about how folks are typically 60 to 70% more afraid of running out of money, living without assets or being a burden to their family than they are of dying. So if it gives you any idea of how big of an importance this is to us, especially retiring in the United States these days.
Yeah, well, given what we've seen over the last couple of years and the market, I mean, it's probably more at the top of people's mind than ever before.
Yeah.
What's your guys' approach to help people avoid bad financial surprises?
So bad financial surprises, we look at those as unexpected financial risks, whether it's unexpectedly high taxes, unexpected expenses in retirement, whether that's because of health care, some sort of medical situation that arises, or just unexpectedly bad investment environment to be involved in. So what we look at is a holistic approach to making sure that we have access to our CPAs and our tax management team on a daily basis. So when our clients are coming in for their reviews, we're looking at what's your tax situation, not just this year, but in the upcoming 2 to 5 to even 7 years, so we can be making more proactive tax management decisions. Then we also enlist our Medicare advisors each year to make sure that we're keeping those health insurance costs down as low as possible. And then long term, you think of the multi-generational aspect of retirement planning, which is what happens to your assets if something happens to you either unexpectedly early. What position might that leave your spouse in from a tax perspective, from an income perspective, but then also what might your beneficiaries, your children or other family members be left with, and how involved is Uncle Sam going to get in that situation? What are the things you can do to protect that nest egg?
There's a lot to think about and so many different angles of it, and we're so glad that you guys have got focused on all of those different angles to help people help guide people through that process. It seems just overwhelming.
And traditionally, as financial advisors, we can't do it all ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes, we may be experts in the investment management, the income planning world, but from the standpoint of the tax management, all those things, we need those additional certified professionals that we bring into our conference room side by side with us.
All right, well, we do have a viewer question. This one's going to come from Shelley and Kevin J. They ask, we have larger IRAs that we realize could cause tax problems as we age. Our current financial planner hasn't given us a plan to manage the taxes. What should we do?
Well, as I recommend just about every week when we talk about it's come in and talk to us. Ultimately, you know, we don't know if we're going to be the right team for you, but going through that consultation process, we learn a lot about you, you learn a lot about us, but especially on a big financial decision like this, which is, should we start to manipulate the tax treatment of our retirement accounts if we've got what we think might be too much money in these pre-tax accounts? Because then you look long-term at required minimum distributions, how high is that going to set your taxable income as you age? This is why we have our tax team to consult with all through that entire process.
Yeah, and we've said before, that process is unique to you, the individual, and you definitely need that hand-by-hand or hand-on-hand approach there to schedule that complimentary consultation and submit your questions. Just visit AskOurAdvisor.com, call 816-548-2000. They'll take your questions and even meet one-on-one free of charge. If you include your address, Market Advisory Group will send you a free gift. Jonathon, thank you so much for your time this morning.